Hola a todos, bienvenidos. Today I just wanted to address something that I've been getting a lot of questions about, which is what is the virus like in Nicaragua? How many cases are there? What's happening? Just a couple days ago I came back from Nicaragua because of the virus. The fact that in Nicaragua there's not very good medical attention if anything were to happen to me or my daughter. She's only almost 8 months old, so we just prefer to be here in the US. I also wanted to mention that my husband was in Nicaragua with us. He was visiting for 2 weeks and he had a ticket to go home on Sunday. I wanted to try to go with him because I was like, I don't want to travel by myself with my kid again, but I wasn't able to get a ticket in time. The last seat left that they had was $1,500 in the business class, so when I was booking my ticket I was like, oh, I'll just get it like the next weekend and then he can come pick me up from the airport with no issue. It's not on a work night. Pero cuando estaba viendo, I was getting more and more worried about flights getting canceled because I was hearing more and more stuff about that. So I ended up buying a ticket for Wednesday. It's a very good thing that I did because there were cancellations. I think American was canceling flights as of Friday to and from Managua. United was canceling flights to and from Managua, and Spirit was canceling. But the thought was that if I don't buy a ticket now, I'm gonna get stuck in Nicaragua for who knows how long. Like it could be a month, it could be 3 months. Quién sabe qué va a pasar. I really just wanted to be able to be home with my husband. I know some of you are probably so sick of hearing stuff about the virus, whatever. I just wanted to address it because I've been getting a lot of questions. And then also I just want to add some stuff about what's happening in my life right now to have a little memory of this weird time in our lives. So first, Nicaragua. There's only been 2 official recognized cases of COVID-19 in Nicaragua. There was a lot of talk about the virus before their first official case, but people didn't really do anything about it. Nobody was doing anything differently. I didn't notice any differences of anything until the first official case. People started wearing masks, then there's signs everywhere and little ad thingies on the news, on the TV that says wash your hands for 20 seconds, blah blah blah, like the different things that they recommend doing. Also, a few days I think after the first case was reported, some schools and universities closed, like the kids don't go to school, so people are doing homework from home. And I don't know if that's all or just a couple of them, because I know my niece and nephew, they are no longer going to school. And then my brother-in-law who goes to college in Nicaragua, he's not attending school either because of the virus, just doing all their stuff from home. As far as for the future, I would guess it would be very hard for people to self-quarantine for extended periods of time in Nicaragua. I originally said that it would be because, you know, people are they just love to visit each other all the time. Like we're constantly going to other people's houses and saying hi, and even if it's just for a few minutes. But when I mentioned this to a friend, she brought to my attention that more likely people would not be able to do that because of the very low income. People generally need to do day-to-day grocery shopping and need to buy just small amounts at a time of things. They can't go out and just stock up on everything because they don't have the money to buy so many things all at the same time. It's just kind of a hard place to be. The medical attention is there, but maybe not as good as some other countries, and the fact that so many people are living in poverty, that makes the circumstances very difficult. So I would guess that the numbers would climb very rapidly. And then I've also gotten a lot of questions about traveling with the virus happening from Nicaragua to the US. I went through the Miami airport, the Dallas airport, and then another one which I'm just not going to mention. I fully expected going from a different country into the US, there was going to be some sort of like at least checking for calentura. I can't think of the word in English, temperature, fever, or like people mentioning like, hey, you should stay home once you get home and not travel, or like self-quarantine for an extended period of time. There was absolutely not one single mention of the virus. Not even to say, hey, wash your hands longer. Just nothing. There were signs, of course, in the airports and things like going on the TV as well, pero nada más. I just was so shocked by that. My flight from Managua to Miami was super full because of people, I think, trying to go back to their homes from Nicaragua if they live in the US. But then my other 2 flights were pretty empty, and then the airports were also pretty empty. And pretty much everybody I saw in the airplanes were wiping their seats with hand sanitizing wipes, things, whatever, once they sat down, which is obviously a good idea. In the airports, oh my gosh, I looked at if you look at the screens where all of the flights are listed and where they're going to and if they're on time and what gate they're leaving from, there were so many canceled flights. I would say like 75%, if not more, of the flights were canceled. It was just a very weird travel experience. Everything is just kind of feeling really weird right now. Moving on to moving into un apartamento nuevo. Yes, again. Seriously hope this is the last time for a few years at least. I had done all of my communicating over the phone for the apartment that we're moving into, and I already knew which one it was going to be, so there was no worry about like going have tours of apartments or anything. I'm sure a lot of places are not doing that right now just to do the social distancing thing. But then when I had to put the electric into my name, I went to the electric place while the lobby is closed. You can go inside like the first entrance thing, and they have the lobby doors blocked off. They have a table there with a phone and like a whole bunch of instructions, like
if you're a delivery person, call this.
And if you're here for this, do that.
And there's drop boxes to make your payments. So I had to just call the electric place and have them fill out the paperwork for me, and then they emailed it to me to make sure it was correct so I could like sign it and approve it over email. I don't have access to a printer, and I thought, well, maybe I could go to the library for the printer, but I don't even know if the library's open. And then the other thing, when I went to get like the introductory paperwork and that for my apartment, all the contract and everything is online, so that was normal. But going to actually get the key, they had to put the key on a table outside of the office, and they said, we'll walk you through everything through the glass of the office. Which al fin no pasó, because I actually ended up being in the lobby right when they were bringing the key out, so they just told me like quickly, and yeah, that was interesting. Kind of a weird time, but we'll get through it. We'll be fine. And now for some fun little clips of moving, because the video maker creator in me really wanted to film some clips, so. Okay. Gracias por ver. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe. Comment down below anything strange that's happened to you in this time, or just little things you've been doing. I don't know, if you don't even want to talk about the virus, hit that like button. Oh, everything just feels so unimportant and different. Like, things don't matter. So never mind about that. Next week I will go back to my regular programming of videos about Nicaragua, because I have a whole stockpile of stuff that I filmed while I was there. We'll see you next time. Bye. Baby taco.